Hello students, in this lesson we are going to learn about Android architecture components. The Android operating system manages resources to perform well on a huge range of devices, and sometimes it becomes challenging to build robust apps. Android architecture components provide guidance on the same with helpful libraries. Architecture components help you structure this kind of app with less code. Screen image shows short introduction of the terminology and how they work together. Entity. In regards to architecture components, the entity is a class that describes a database table. In our project, entity class is defined in the file node.kt. SQLite database. On the mobile device, data is stored in a SQLite database. DAO. It is short form for Data Access Object. It maps of SQL queries to functions. In our project, DAO class is defined in the file nodesdao.kt. Room database. The Room library helps to create an abstraction layer over SQLite to allow easier database access while using the full power of SQLite. It is called Room database. The Room database uses the DAO to issue queries to the SQLite database. In our project, database class is defined in the file nodesdatabase.kt. Repository. It is a class that manages data sources. It also provides clean API to communicate with database. In our project, repository class is defined in the file noderepository.kt. View model. It provides data to the user interface and acts as a communication center between the repository and the UI. In our project, ViewModel class is defined in the file nodesviewmodel.kt. Live data. It is a data holder class that follows the observer pattern, which means that it can be observed. It always holds the latest version of data. It notifies the observers when the data has been changed. Live data is lifecycle aware. Live data automatically manages stopping and resuming observation because it's aware of the relevant lifecycle status changes. In our project, live data instance is created in the ViewModel class file nodesviewmodel.kt. Observer. Observer object is attached to the live data object and it is notified of data changes. When the value stored in the live data object changes, all registered observers are notified and they take specified actions such as updating the UI. In our project, observer object is created and attached to live data object in the activity class file mainActivity.kt. Adapter. The adapter class creates view objects and also populates it with data. In our project, adapter class is defined in the file nodeadapter.kt. The screen diagram shows the Android architecture components in the regards to our app. I am going to revise these components in regards to our project. In our project, entity class is defined in the file node.kt. DAO class is defined in the file nodesdao.kt. Database class is defined in the file nodesdatabase.kt. Repository class is defined in the file noderepository.kt. ViewModel class is defined in the file nodesviewmodel.kt. In our project, live data instance is created in the ViewModel class file nodesviewmodel.kt. Live data instance is created with collection of node class objects. As seen above, Node class is entity class. In our project, observer object is created and attached to live data object in the activity class file main_activity.kt. Adapter class is defined in the file noteadapter.kt. Room uses SQLite database as its database backend. SQLite databases store data in tables of rows and columns. Screen shows a SQLite database table. Each row represents one entity or record, and each column represents a value in that entity. Column is also called as field. Screen shows database table of our project. Database table name is my_notes and it has two columns or fields. Column ID is primary key and its value get automatically generated. When you write an app using architecture components, you define your entity in class. Each instance of the class represents a row and each column is represented by a variable. Dear students, now we are going to close this chapter. If you have any further related questions not resolved in this chapter, please message us. Goodbye for now.